the way, we must look to nature to get back to a holistic path. For 400 years, we have been taught a diet that is not only contradictory to nature, but to our bodies as well. Man has been so far removed from his natural habitat that we have forgotten the natural way of healing ourselves. God in the beginning gave us herbs for the healing of the nations. We must understand and overstand that once we understand to keep our bodies in a natural and rhythmic homeostasis state, that we have then found the keys to rid our bodies of disease. Cleanse the mind, and the body will follow. Peace, love, and light.
What's going on? What's going on, family? Peace, love, light, and prosperity to the family scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. This is one half of Keeping Up with the Africades. Welcome to our actual first live with interviewing someone, and this is someone who's truly pioneered, as far as the younger generation. When I say younger generation, I mean those in their 30s, 20s, of that nature, really, still trying to, get their wits about them, coming into this world to leave everything, drop everything, and move to Africa, the lands of our ancestors. So y'all in for a treat. So make sure y'all get your popcorn. I guess it's morning time for some of us, and it's afternoon. So we get your breakfast, get your chapati, get your toy, your banana soup, whatever you need, get it, because this is going to be a very, very great interview. I am super, super excited. It's actually been a long time coming, but with our busy schedules, everything happens on divine timing. So y'all get ready for this, because this is going to be very, very exciting. Before we get to that, please make sure y'all click like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all share the video. Make sure y'all share the information, because we're in a time where, these platforms are not going to be of any use anymore. And we want to make sure we get all the information that we need in this time that we're in, so that whatever we need when it is time to leave or whenever we need to move, we'll have it with us. So make sure y'all get this information and write this information down. I'm telling y'all now, what y'all about to receive today, it will be like no other, especially for those who are young, maybe who don't have a family, or maybe you do have a family and you just ready, you're just ready to experience, because your spirit is calling for that natural environment. It's calling to get back to the lands of your ancestors. It's just calling to get that ancient environment back that we just simply don't get in America. So please, please, please make sure y'all have your pens and papers to get this stuff down. Again, click like, subscribe to our YouTube. This is Keeping Up with the Africades, where we do cover anything dealing with our people scattered abroad who are of African descent, Bantu descent, Hebraic descent, whatever you want to call yourself, but you have African roots, whatever that is, we cover that. So y'all get ready as we're interviewing the powerful, the beautiful traveling sister. We could welcome her on. Let's see, let's get her on now. I see she is in the background. Okay. Boom. Hey, peace and love, sis. How you doing?
Greetings, peace. I'm great. I'm really honored to be here. I'm really excited for this interview, to be honest. I'm really excited for this conversation I'm about to embark on.
Exactly. This has been a long time coming, for both of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's finally here, and that's the most important thing. Everything happens in line time, and so
yes.
So I'm not gonna hold you too long, because I know you're a busy woman. You got a family, you got businesses, so
it's always I got time for my people always, so it's no problem. All right.
Good. Well, that's the first thing. We want to talk about your time. So what's your story? Who are you? Where did you come from? What got you to this point?
Okay, so a little bit of background about myself. I am Catherine, or Kat Kishimbo. I grew up in Newport News, Virginia. I am originally from San Diego, but I grew up in Newport News. I was in the Navy for 6 years, and excuse me, I'm just getting over a little something real quick, so I got my tea. But I was in the Navy for 6 years, and I came out, I went to school for graphic design, and I also went to school for film production. I have my degrees in both of those. And basically, long story short, I was working in both industries for a little bit, and I was also working in the industry of marine engineering, because that's kind of what I did in the Navy, as well as electrician. And it wasn't fulfilling me anymore. And as I was waking up into my consciousness as who I was as a Black woman, an African woman, born in America, I felt an unrest within my spirit, and I felt like something was pulling me in different directions. At the time, I decided that I wanted to make some type of move. I was actually living in San Diego, and I had hopped around California, in the years that I was there, all the way up to the Bay Area. I was in LA, I was in the Bay, I was in San Diego, and just trying to find a place. When you're just unsettled and you're just trying to find something. So I kind of looked all over different states, like, okay, I don't want to be here. Where do I need to be? So I looked at different states, and I was like, hold on, why am I still looking in America? You know what I'm saying? Where it's a lot of racism, abundant racism. We are oppressed as a people. The food is killing us. The police are killing us. Like, let me look outside of America. And so I looked at the Caribbean, and I looked at these places in Africa, but nothing was sitting well with my spirit. And so I was like, okay, this is the opportunity. You're waking up to who you are as an African woman. Why don't you come home? Why don't you venture to the continent? And I'm like, why didn't I think about that first? Right. And so I, of course, naturally, like with my research on the continent, I started out with Ghana, because, that was just the most popular place. Now, this is 2016, by the way. This is mid 2016 that I'm doing all this research. I would say about August, because August is when I quit my job, and I vowed, I was like, you know what? I'm never going to work for anyone else ever again. If I use my energy, I'm going to build my own empire. So fast forward to me looking at different places on the continent. When I tell you, I looked at so many countries and did my research and did research about the cost of living. I wanted somewhere on the coast because I grew up on the coast, the East Coast, and, I was born on the West Coast. Something about my spirit needs water to be around. I was in the Navy, all of these things. So I started thinking like, okay, this is getting overwhelming because Africa is so huge. So Googled, where's the Serengeti, right? Because I was just like, okay, I don't even know, but where is the Serengeti? I know this is a place that I want to visit. And so Tanzania popped up. And so you know how Google does, where it's like, okay, they bring up all these things about Tanzania. It had Mount Kilimanjaro, it had Zanzibar. And I was like, okay, I could vibe with this, but let me check out that cost of living, and then I'll see. Cost of living was right. And so I booked my plane ticket. Yeah, one-way trip. And yeah, at the time I had decided to travel out here with a good friend of mine at the time. And, we just did it. We did it. No second guessing, no looking back.
So let me ask you, you pretty much answered the second question. My second question is going to be why Africa and then why Tanzania? But now I'm going to ask you this question. Why did you stay in Tanzania? Because, some people, from my experience, they come, they stay for a few months, and then they don't like it, or something happens where they either choose a whole nother country or they go back home. So why did you stay in Tanzania? What drove you to just stay?
Okay, so it's a number of different factors that drove me to stay in Tanzania. The first one being, first and foremost being, when I stepped off the plane, it was like a sense of familiarity that I had. I felt like, I didn't feel automatically like this is home. You know what I'm saying? But I felt comfortable. And I have been to over 20 something different countries, and I have never in my life felt just the comfort that I felt the day I stepped off the plane. The moment I felt relaxed. I don't know if that's because this is the first country I've been to where it's people who look like me. working in the airports, walking on the street, holding positions in office. I don't know whether that had an effect on it, but I'm almost certain it did. But energetically, the place just felt good to me. And another reason is um, because I felt like I wanted to explore Tanzania a lot more. Okay, a lot more. And I'm still exploring Tanzania. I've been here since December 2016 and I'm still exploring. And also, I met my beautiful, amazing husband, and he's Tanzanian. He's a Chaga man from Mount Kilimanjaro, from Old Moshi. And
Oh,
we
you
built.
get questions.
uh,
I'll go there next. I'll go there next.
Yeah, we
What?
built, we're building a family, we building a business, multiple businesses. You know,
Ooh, you
we're
getting to
doing
my
our thing.
But look, I want to ask this before we go there because I know that I heard your story, so I know that's right there is a whole explanation.
Right.
But before we go into that, I want to ask you this because going back to what I said, some people come, they don't like it, the issue, and they want to leave. So my question to you is this: how was your first year there, and did you have at any point any doubts, so much so that you wanted to come back to America?
Coming back to America was never an option. I would definitely go back to visit, but to reset my roots in the United States of America, nah, that was never an option for me. But the world was my oyster. I knew that, like, okay, if Tanzania didn't work out, there are 53 other countries on the continent of Africa that I could explore. I knew I wanted to live in Africa and have Africa as my home base because by nature, I am a traveler. I've spent my life traveling. Even at a very young age, I was, privileged enough, to be honest, to be able to travel to different countries. Yeah, if Tanzania didn't work out, if for some reason Africa didn't work out, I was gonna go to another nation, but
By no means necessary, you wasn't going back.
nah, no, it was never an option. No.
That's a powerful mindset to have. Just seeing where we coming from, and knowing that even as us, because sometimes a lot of our brothers and sisters over there don't understand that even we are limited to our resources where we come from. So for somebody to have that mindset, and there's no doubt we're going to find some struggle even moving, and it may be a struggle for a time, and I know talking to you, which is going to lead to the next question. I know when we first talked, you said you had a blessed situation, and that's what I want to talk about next, right? And but before we get there, I want to stress to our people, like when you're thinking about moving to Africa, you have to think about multiple things. You have to think about the economy. You have to think about the environment. You have to think about citizenship. All those things that play a major part on how you may move when it comes to income. Those are things that you have to really think about and consider before moving. It's like this. Unfortunately, America has been like a mother, and we have been like the baby on the mother's breast. And you gotta ask yourself, are you really ready to get off the breast? Because they've created a system in America that we become very dependent on them. Whereas Africa, you have to, pretty much fend for yourself.
You have to
hold your own. Stand 10 toes down. So that leads me to my next question with you, because you did have a blessed situation. And the reality is not too many people get that type of situation. And I can say that me being around you and your family and actually, really being able to break bread, sit down and eat with you all, spend time with you all, that I can honestly say that your situation is most definitely blessed.
For sure.
With that being said, because part of that blessing was your husband, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about, how you found the love of your life. And hopefully this next part of the question is not too personal, but how was it different than being with or being surrounded by American men? And was it a culture shock in that relationship?
Okay, so I'll answer that in two parts. But what I will say first is that I've always believed and felt within myself that energetically, no matter where I go on earth, I will be taken care of because I'm a good person. And that precedes me. I carry that energy with me. I'm lucky enough or blessed enough to not have run in to a lot of struggles. And even these were even in my travels before I even knew my husband. You know what I'm saying? I'm taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Because I give out what I want to receive and not giving it out because I'm looking to receive something, but just being a good person at heart. So with that, I can give you the short version. Y'all gonna have to check out the long version on
Yeah.
Traveling the YouTube channel. But basically, when I got here, well, before I got here, I kind of met my husband online, and my friend who I came out here with, we were just searching for people to help us to, just make the transition easier. And back then in 2016, it was not a lot of social media where, we could connect with people. And of course, there was Instagram and, Facebook and stuff like that, but it wasn't as easy to find people, genuine people to connect with. So we were just trying to find someone to connect with who could tell us about internet and rent prices and stuff like that. So she reached out, she found him, and then I got his number from her on WhatsApp, and I was just asking him questions about the phones and, how much data plans were, boring stuff, right? So once her and I got out here, we actually intended on living in Zanzibar. We stayed there for maybe a few weeks, and then I decided Zanzibar wasn't necessarily for me to live. It's definitely a great place to go check out, and if y'all come out, y'all definitely need to check it out. Lots of good history. But I came back to the mainland Tanzania, to Dar es Salaam, and I was staying in a hotel for about 2 weeks, and it was getting a little expensive, and I was just like, dang, I gotta find a house because I'm not, the budget was not flexible enough for me to be doing that. And so I was like, okay, let me see, who can I call? Oh, Freddie, the guy who's been helping me with the phones, right? And so I hit him up and I asked him, did he know of a couple places to rent? And he said, actually, I do. I can pick you up tomorrow at the ferry, because he was living in this place called Kigamboni, which is still Dar es Salaam, but it's a ferry. It's like a ferry ride away, or you can go by bridge. And so I was like, okay, bet. Let's go look at some homes. I'm trying to, get settled and stuff. And then he called me back like 15 minutes later, and he was like, hey, so I'm living in Kigamboni with my brother. We have a 4-bedroom house and an extra bedroom. If you feel comfortable, you can definitely move in with us and, just throw in for groceries and we can just help you transition. And I was like, word, okay. And usually I wouldn't move in the house with a man I don't know, but something in my spirit was like, you can trust him. Literally, like, I swear I would never just move in with especially a man and his brother. But when I got there, it was a man, his brother, and the whole family. It was the kids, it was the wife, it was the dadas. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience. And then the rest is history, the rest is history. Yeah.
So now to the other part of the question, was it a culture shock within the relationship? Now we know it's a culture shock, obviously, when we go over there, but now there's a different dynamic when you actually get into a relationship with somebody indigenous to the land, because obviously our backgrounds and how we grew up is different.
Right.
So that means, unfortunately, sometimes we come with different morals and expectations.
Absolutely.
So my question to you was there a culture shock in the relationship?
I feel like, okay, first of all, absolutely. There is a culture shock. But when I say culture shock, I don't think that it was on the same magnitude as I hear a lot of brothers and sisters having the culture shock, just because of how Freddie and I started. When we kind of like had a little friendship through social media and through WhatsApp and stuff before I even landed here. So just filling each other out, getting to know each other through that, in a non-romantic way, literally just like strictly friends, And then when I got out here and moved in with his family, Like, you know, when you move in with somebody in their family, you can't fake too much. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're around the big brothers and the aunties and all that. Like, you kind of see people for who they are, and you see how people receive them, how people respect them, and you get to get a better judge of who they are character wise, work ethic, you know, how open minded they are they sneaky, you know what I'm saying? So I got to see Freddie firsthand, like him being him. And
So you got
then
to like see him like
yeah,
before he's making that decision.
see him and meet his family on a non, oh, this is my girlfriend type of thing. And on a non, like, oh, I'm trying to get with this girl. It's really just like, you know, on just like a strictly platonic type of thing. And so it's you know, I feel like that was a huge advantage. As well as when we both did establish that, okay, yeah, we kind of have feelings for each other. It's obvious that, you know, we there's some chemistry going on. But like, I would say for one of the first times when it comes to relationships in my life, like I actually had my head on straight and, you know, just asked him the important questions. He asked me the important questions like, hey, you know, I'm from America. You're from here in Tanzania. What do you expect of me as your woman in the household? What do you expect of me as 1, 2, 3, 4? What are the customs and traditions? What are, you know, what type of thing you need me to fulfill as a woman? And I'm gonna be honest with you and let you know whether I can fulfill that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like sometimes a lot of us diasporans come over who are single with a dream of sowing our oats in Africa on the continent, right? And we just have this kind of romanticized view of finding our African king or our African queen. And we kind of just jump into something without being real with ourselves. Like, are you the type of man or are you the type of woman who can really handle and have that patience? Because, you know what I'm saying, it takes a lot of patience and emotional maturity to meet somebody eye level when, you know what I'm saying, when you have two completely different cultures and some of the things might not align with each other. You see what I'm saying? Some of the roles and relationships might not align with each other, but finding a happy medium ground that both of you are happy with and understanding that, okay, I'm not in a Tanzanian relationship. He's not in an American relationship. We are our own thing. And we don't necessarily have to adhere to the cultural norms that were toxic, because let's be real, some of the cultural norms of America and some of the cultural norms of Tanzania they're toxic. You know what I'm saying? So us as two both level-headed individuals came into it like almost like it was almost like we were negotiating a business contract, to be honest. Like the level of like mental clarity that I feel like we both had, because it really is a contract. You know what I'm saying? When you build a relationship, when you build in a marriage, because Freddie had told me, he was like, that was his goal from the beginning. At the very beginning, I wasn't just like dating and playing around. I didn't know I wanted to marry this man. He knew he wanted to marry me. I didn't know that it was going to be him, you know, but
so
it was more.
My wife had this conversation, right? And this conversation, this question is not even part of what I wanted to ask you, but I want to take this and also move by the spirit too, because me and my wife had this conversation about, you know, we're men within the first, honestly, within the first month or two, usually know if they want to marry a sister or not, right? They don't take the time. They ain't about to take years. And I'm not saying they don't take years to get to know them, but they usually kind of know already. Right. And what you are explaining, and I'm pretty sure you know if Freddie haven't told you, but if you don't, and for the audience who may not know, but what y'all did was an ancient practice. It's called courting, and this courting is where you establish, what am I looking for one another? Like, what do you expect out of me? What do I expect out of you? What are you bringing to the table? What am I bringing to the table? Right. Can we actually fulfill those roles? So by the time we're ready to marry, we can then make the contract. And that's what you pretty much said. It was like a contract. So you said something before even going into that, saying that you were in, you felt like you were finding the right space to make the right decision when it came to him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that your environment, you being in a peaceful environment right now where you got clarity, had a major role on why you made that decision to move forward?
Absolutely. Because like I always tell people that for one, there's certain ways that Africa can heal you, right? And it's not necessarily on the big scope where you might think or romanticize about, where, like, you know, you get off the plane, the ancestors are going to swoop down and you're going to be greeted with drum circles and stuff like that. But at least for me, right, Tanzania offered me a peace of mind and mental quietude, as to where, because it's a pole pole lifestyle, and pole pole in Swahili means slowly or slow, right? And so with that, I was able to just slow down and not have my judgment clouded by so many things, not be distracted by so many things, bombardment of, you know, just media's agendas, this, that, and the other. I'm not saying they don't have those things out here, but I say all that to say, I was in a place where my mind was at rest and I was able to just enjoy being. You see what I'm saying? So that absolutely helped with everything that unfolded with Freddie and how it did. Because if I didn't feel secure in the first place, if I didn't take those couple weeks in the hotel just to literally like sit, work on my computer, sit on the balcony, watch the people walk by, hear the sounds of the city, breathe that African air, realize like, yo, Kat, you're here in Africa. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have that time to slow down mentally and just take it all in, I really don't believe that things would have unfolded how they would have with Freddie and I. And even if the situation was reversed and Freddie's the one who came out to America and we met, I wouldn't have been in that energy space to receive a king like him. I wouldn't have been. You know what I'm saying? So yes, absolutely. This environment facilitated.
I think that's important to understand, you know, because the reality is this, right? And it's not always our fault. You know, it's just our environment. And when I say environment, I mean the home, you know, where we grew up at, and within the home, the neighborhood we grew up in, the culture we grew up in, the government that governed us, the school system that taught us. We don't get taught those more like our grandparents was, or our great grandparents was, you know, who had a sense of, I like to say, saints, because, you know, people are our age and under, we insane now. We don't have no morals, no honor, no respect. So, but back, you know, it was more common to go through that type of, you know, we kept our wits about us, we kept our respect about us, and men respected women and women respected men. And just to hear how y'all went about it, and not only that, but to hear how you're referencing him, you know, that you can tell that that's something that really you can only learn if you either are in Africa or you are rooted in Africa within yourself. So one, I want to say I appreciate you for setting the tone on how you should really go about relationship and marriage, and two, just bringing the importance back on marriage, you know, because sometimes we lose that, especially for people our age. You know, our people our age, we don't believe in marriage no more. So that's which now my next question for you. And you kind of said it in the beginning. How does it feel being in a society where everyone looks like you, from the president, the police, the military, even down to the dollar, the black face on the dollar? How does that feel?
It's refreshing. It's very refreshing, and I don't feel threatened. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel underrepresented. It's kind of cool. You know, it's kind of cool. Like I was talking to one of my friends one time, and she was saying, Tanzania, it reminds me of the hood, but not in a negative, low energy type of way. But like, you got the homie down the street selling watches, you got somebody on the here hustling, you got your auntie down the street. You know what I'm saying? It's always something going on. It's always people on the street hustling. It's always people making moves, just living their everyday life and just being rooted in who they are. And that's another thing I really like about Tanzania. I feel like the people are just themselves. It's not so much pretentiousness, or trying to act like you're someone else or trying to endow yourself with so many, accolades or titles or, big yourself up. Like people are literally just them walking around, like, I'm saying, showing up as them. And it's Black people. It's people who look like us. It's nice. And on the billboard, you see Black faces, you know what I'm saying? And it's so diverse because you have people from all areas and all walks of life. You know what I'm saying? You have just, your regular everyday people and, who are grinding, hustling. You have your affluent, middle and upper class, you know what I'm saying? In every position, mostly every position is filled by Black people. Now you do have, a lot of Indians and Chinese and people like that out here, but I would say it's like 90% African people who are the face of Tanzania, and I would actually even more, to be honest, even more than that. Because when I think of how Tanzanians represent themselves, I don't see Indian faces. I don't see Chinese faces. Those are the people who come out here to do business. Right. But when it comes to the operation and when it comes to getting things done, it's carried out by their people. It's beautiful. It really is.
That's powerful. And you said something as well, saying that they don't have to act or they don't have to put on this facade.
Right. Did you feel that too?
And that's what I was gonna go into, is like, because that shows you cultural environment plays a major role on your thought process, because that's what me and my wife was talking about as well. Like, when you get there, man, you can wear flip-flops every day. If you want to wear just some shorts and a wrinkled white tee, ain't nobody sitting there judging you. It's just you feel free. And we came to the realization that, man, America puts a very bad strain on you to carry a certain image. And the images don't even mean anything that represent you, but the society. For Black men, you got to wear a suit and a tie, and you got to have your beard shaved down, and you can't wear locks, so it makes you look unclean. For women, y'all got to wear a certain thing to be beautified, all those different things. But in Africa or in Tanzania, you just, whatever you want to be, like whatever you choose to be, you can be. You know what I'm saying? If you have a certain belief, you literally can just go with your belief and nobody's going to bother you about that. If you want to wear your hair a certain way, nobody's going to bother you about that. Now, of course, they got obviously certain rules within culture you can't break. You know what I'm saying? Now, you ain't about to go steal there. You definitely not going to do that. But the point is, you can be yourself. You can be yourself. And so with that being said, my next question to you is this, right? We know that Black people are scattered everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And as far as the scattering, the diaspora, a lot of us, for the most part, are in America. So my question to you, now I reference it as Black Americans, but I'm going to reference to all Black people scattered abroad. Do you believe that all melanated people, all African-bred Bantu people scattered abroad, do you believe that if they don't move to Africa, should they make a priority to help rebuild Africa? And if you do believe that, why?
That's a good question. And I've never been asked that before. So repeat the first part of the question again. You said,
I said, do you believe African people scattered abroad, do you believe if they don't move to Africa, should they make it a priority in their life, in their existence, to at least help rebuild Africa? And if so, why?
Okay, so if they don't move to Africa, should they make it a priority to help rebuild Africa?
Yes.
This is a really good question. And I've never thought about it. But off the top of my head, for one, this transition isn't for everyone. And I know that every Black person, if you are knowledgeable about you being an African descendant, if that is what, for first of all, if that is the belief that you follow, because a lot of us don't even believe that we are descendants of Africa.
Right.
Do I believe that they should help rebuild Africa? In an ideal world, yes. In reality, no. And I say no simply because I know that people won't take that responsibility, and a lot of people don't have the reverence for African culture or African lifestyle, African tradition that we do, or some of us do, who have relocated or who are thinking about relocating, or just who follow those traditions. But on the other hand, I feel like it's a relationship between the diaspora and the land that needs to be bridged. You see what I'm saying? It needs to be connected so that we can all come up together, that we can rise together, because Africa needs its people and its people need Africa. You see what I'm saying? But to make an actual effort to rebuild Africa, I don't know, because I'm always of the notion, right, that like we come out, or when we have these African centered conversations, a big part of the conversation is repatriation and or what we can do for Africa. But a lot of times we don't focus on even healing ourselves or even fixing what's internally broken within. And I always say, yo, I heal myself, I heal the collective, because we have to if we individually shift our lives towards something more African centered, then we will be able to pour into Africa in the way we need. If we switch our lives, if we just stop focusing on trying to build Africa, right? And we switch that focus on trying to build ourselves and root ourselves in Africa, even if we're not in Africa, the building is going to flow, because you can't be African centered and you're not focused on Africa. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And you can't be where was I going? You can't basically you can't be African centered if you're not properly, you know what I'm saying, focusing on Africa, or you can't build anything unless you build yourself.
Like you can't focus on home if you don't already have home within you.
Within you. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
That's a great answer. That's actually a very, very great answer. And I'm gonna tell you why I asked that, right? We talk to a lot of people, especially us doing this YouTube. You get a lot of questions. You actually get to know people. And one of the things I find common with us is this: we'll invest in America, right? Put our money into America, knowing everything America's done to us. We'll put our money into that. We'll put our money into nonprofit organizations that's Eurocentric based, but here's the crazy part: they'll be based in Africa, right?
Right.
But we have a hard time when it comes to Africans who establish and organize African-centered understandings or environments or culture. We have a hard time investing in that. And that's what really led me to that question. And when I say Africa, not only do I mean the continent, but I even mean the people on the continent who even may have come from America. Because we'll find ourselves investing in everybody else except us. And for me, I believe that's holding us back. But I do concur with you, and I do absolutely agree with you that you have to heal, because you got to be able to see clearly. You got to be able to see clearly on why you invest. You can't force anybody to invest in your vision. They don't see it themselves, especially if you're trying to cultivate them to see that this is for them too. Some people want to keep the blinders on and keep the veil on. And the biggest thing for that is fear. And that was programmed and still fear by our enemies. We know that. They told us that Africa was savages, and they lived in the bush, they do this and that. Yet they don't consider what they did to us, So that's what led me to ask that question. So now with that being said, and you having your experience, and you learning. Have you traveled to any other country besides Tanzania? And if not, do you plan on doing so?
I have not. Well, I've traveled to South Africa before, but I haven't, and I definitely plan on it. Actually, by the end of this year, I plan on traveling. I'm not going to say where yet because it's still like up in the air. Excuse me, but yeah, I absolutely plan on traveling. And I haven't traveled just largely because life unfolded that way. You know what I'm saying? Life unfolded. We got married, we had a kid. I went back to the States to give birth and things like that. And in my mind, that was the time I was supposed to be traveling Africa, but life unfolded differently. But it's traveling sister about to get traveling this year,
Right.
definitely before the end of
Right.
this year. Mm-hmm.
All right. So my next question is this: what has been the most difficult thing living in Tanzania, and what has been the biggest lesson you have learned?
Okay, so the most difficult thing I would say is the language. Okay, the language. And I say that because the language keeps you separated from the people. If you don't know Swahili, then how are you going to connect with people on more than a superficial connection? You see what I'm saying? Or more than a topical connection, I'd say. Because you can't come out to any African country, even if English is in one of their national language lists. You got to learn. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn their local language, their tribal languages and stuff like that. Because I feel like I have missed out on quite a bit because I'm not as fluent as I should be. Now I'm getting there. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably about 40 to 50% efficiency right now. But yes, I have missed out on quite a bit because I don't know how to communicate effectively, kabisa, like completely effectively yet. So yeah, that's one of the biggest things. And then I would say another big lesson that I learned is that I'm not as patient as I thought I was. I was a very patient, very understanding person. But what I found about Tanzania, what Tanzania does energetically, maybe it's the continent, but from my perspective, it's Tanzania, it reflects your energy right back at you, but very fast. You manifest things very fast. Not only positive things, but the negative aspects within yourself fast, right? So, and I'm saying I'm not as patient because it is a poly lifestyle here. Things go slow. When you're in line, the line moves slow. You waiting for some paperwork to come back from whatever office, it's going to move slow. Even when you're waiting for your food, it's slow. And so me, like I said, traveling to all these different countries and being well traveling, yada yada yada, like it's a whole different thing when you actually move to another country. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, I got this. Like, I'm going to have the patience and da 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 da. And I found myself getting angry. You see what I'm saying? Like, really, like irritated. You know what I'm saying? And I had to check myself because I'm like, okay, this is not an energy I want to carry within me. This irritation, you know what I'm saying? Especially when I'm trying to get to learn the culture, learn the people. And I really do respect these people, the hardworking, brilliant, hustling, strong-minded people. You know what I'm saying? And it's not anything wrong with them. I'm coming into your space and I can't tell you how to move in your space. The audacity. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like sometimes a lot of us come out here with that, and I kind of liken it to like this pseudo white privilege type of thing that, that a lot of diasporans have, or a lot of diasporans do. You know what I'm saying? And come out and feel like we need to tell them how to do things. Now, I'm not going to sit up and say that there aren't things that could be improved upon, but you in somebody else's house, don't tell them how to set the table.
Yeah.
Follow suit. Right. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Follow suit, or there's other places that you can go. Or if you're going.
I heard I said that's interesting you said that because I heard an elder brother, it's a scholar too, a well-known scholar, and for the most part I like his teachings, right? But he had said a comment that and I think it's more so because I've experienced living there for about a year that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. He said that, you know, the brother was asking a question about, you know, how do he feel about, you know, Africans over there and, you know, where they at. And the brother came out pretty much saying that, you know, we as diaspora, we know more than the Africans. They don't know their history like that. And, you know, they need to be taught by us and et cetera, et cetera. And it rubbed me the wrong way because it's like, for somebody even on his level with that much knowledge and information, to me, it almost seemed like you still don't understand the way of Africa, you know. And this man is a top scholar, but that shows there's a difference between visiting Africa and actually living in Africa.
Yes.
Because for you to actually understand how to live in Africa, you have to humble yourself as a child. You can't come in there and just tell them what to do. And I agree with you. Certain things can be improved for sure. But for the most part, how you going to improve anything if you're not quiet enough to understand what needs to be improved, or at least examine the environment long enough to say, well, hey, Kaka, hey, Dada, you know, this could be a little better, and not come in there acting like, you know, Muzungu. You know, if anybody knows Muzungu pretty much that's what they call Caucasian or European man, or they try to say, you know, if you speak the European tongue. And you know, a lot of people like me, I don't like getting called Muzungu, you know, but I also understand that my behavior can sometimes reflect that, you know, depending on how I come with them, how I deal with them. And I understand that, you know. Now, obviously, the other part of that is they don't understand.
Attention,
us,
your battery
right?
is running low.
And
Please plug in the power adapter now.
They've been taught the wrong history as well. But the other big part of that is our behavior, why they say that, you know. How we them, how we treat them is
it's everything. For real. And how we treat them is everything. And, you know, I've seen so many teachable lessons, like teachable situations go left because people have like popped off completely, like popped off on waiters and popped off on drivers and stuff like that. When you're supposed to be coming from a place of love, like this is your brother, your sister. You see what I'm saying? Come with a place of love, because you know if somebody stepped to you like that in America, it would be a different story. Hi, baby. Hi, mommy. Yeah. Hi. So,
hey, princess.
Yeah, she's just getting off from school. Okay, mommy's coming out. Okay, go in the sitting room. Mama help you do your homework. Okay.
Okay, I want to take my jutsu.
Okay, Sawa, you got it.
You're getting big.
But yeah, it's a lot of situations that if we just step correctly, we come from a place of love. You see what I'm saying? Or come from a place of like, let's get to understand each other. Not, oh, I'm right. This is the way we do it in America. This is how it needs to be done. Like I said, what is that white privilege? What is that coming over here with that new colonized mindset? What are you here to do? You see what I'm saying? What's your real mission here?
Right. So with that being said, my next question is this. Do you believe Africa has hope of redemption with everything going on, like, you know, from what's going on in the Congo, what's going on in Ethiopia, what's going on in Uganda, now even Morocco, and then, you know, from what I hear now, the new report about this so-called new strand in Tanzania that 3 people got sick and some type of new disease. Do you believe with all this thing going on, not only within the world, but now going on with Africa, right? Because I believe that we're in an era where they're trying to rebirth the Berlin Conference, right? The scatter for Africa.
Yeah, scramble for Africa.
Do you believe that Africa, where it's at now, the state of where it's at now, the people, and not only just the people, when I say the people, I even mean including the diaspora now who lives there, who's got rooted there. Do you believe that Africa has hope for redemption?
Oh, what? Absolutely. Absolutely. As long as there is a will, there is a way. And in this social media age that we're in right now, yes, I'll help you. In this social media age that we're in right now, a lot of people are waking up. Of course, there's a lot of misinformation out there as well. And of course, there's always going to be propaganda to spread lies and spread negativity. But guess what? There's information out there that's facilitating people's ascension and people's understanding about what's going on the continent. And where if you're not even aware of what's going on, you're not going to be aware of the fact that there is a problem to fix, or situations to address. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I definitely feel like there's redemption, because every time I link up with like my Tanzanian brothers and sisters and we have a meaningful conversation, people's eyes are opened. People's eyes are open. And even if I always say, like, everybody has a part to play. Once you acquire a certain level of knowledge, even no matter how big, how small, you don't have to be a scholar. You don't have to have a YouTube channel. You don't have to, put yourself out there. But as long as if you impact one person and get them hip to things that are actually going on and how it's impacting. Okay, mommy, let me help you. How it's actually impacting us as a people. You know what I'm saying? You just word of mouth. That's taking care of one another. Excuse me for a second. Just a second.
No problem. So yeah, family, for those watching, please make sure you click like and subscribe to the video. If you are enjoying this information that we're bringing forth, please drop a comment in the comment box. Tell us what you think. If you're learning, if you would like for us, keeping up the Africans, if y'all would like for us to do more interviews like this with our brothers and sisters on the continent, please drop a comment, okay? Y'all make sure also that y'all go click like and subscribe to Traveling Sisters YouTube as well. She has some very, very powerful information, some seasonal information, and she's also has done many different interviews with other people that I think will be impactful. So y'all make sure y'all share the love. This is what it's about. This is free. This is totally free. It doesn't take much to click like and subscribe. It doesn't take much to share. This is a free thing that doesn't take so much energy. All you got to do is hit the share button, copy the link, send it off, or hit the like button. All it takes is you to use a little bit of finger energy. So that's it, family.
Right.
Make sure y'all okay. So now that leads up to my well, it's still part of the same question, and we only got a few more questions. Okay, I know you got things to do. So,
no problem.
What's your scoop? What's the inside scoop on what they're saying now with Tanzania, with this new strand of disease?
To be honest, I don't really know too much. I know that it is isolated to the Lindi region right now. And I know you're familiar a little bit with the Lindi region. We spoke about the Lindi region a little bit. And it's very isolated in the, Ruangwa, in that area. So, and I have spent some time in Ruangwa. It doesn't seem to be spreading too much, but like I said, I don't have too much information on it, to be honest. So that's all I got. That's all I've heard.
Okay. Now, does the people seem to be worried?
They don't seem to be too worried. Like with almost everything, like especially when it comes to disease and things like that, that have made the bigger media. Like the people, they seem to be handling it well, because if there's not traditional medicine that they can use to like combat it or whatever, they take their own measures. You see what I'm saying? Because they say it's passed in the water. You know what I'm saying? It's transmitted through water. And so people are just not getting water from that area, or they're getting the city water as opposed to the groundwater and the well water and stuff like that. So, people don't freak out here about things like that, just like kind of how they handled the whole COVID type of thing. You know what I'm saying? They were like, man, we got it. You know what I'm saying?
My next question to you, because you lived there when it happened, like from the beginning to this point.
Yeah.
So with that being said, how much did it impact the people? And I'm pretty sure you've seen the reports, especially when President Magufuli died, and all of a sudden, he kept all these cases and tried to hide it. That's what they said about him, outside the country.
Right.
So my question to you is this: with you actually being there on the ground amongst the people in the time of Magufuli, right? If I'm in the time of Magufuli, and even after his time,
Right.
how much did, and I'm not going to
Attention,
say
your battery
the
is
word
running low.
because
Please
they may
plug in
strip
the
the
power
video
adapter now.
but I'm going to say
Mm-hmm.
C19, right?
Right.
How much did C19 truly impact Tanzania?
Yo, if I'm being completely honest, I didn't see so much change. Okay. Definitely not on the scale that it changed in the States or how it affected people. Because people don't have that. For one, people don't have just that level of anxiety in general that, excuse me, that they do in the West and in other countries. So people were, having their hand sanitizer. They were washing. There was like hand washing stations in each building, in every building, outside of every single building. Sometimes they would have like the yellow tape line, like stand from behind this line, to get something from the counter or whatever. People were masked up and stuff, but it wasn't. It did not affect people's everyday life like how it did, in other countries. For one, President Magufuli said he refused to do lockdowns. Like, if you want to self quarantine, that's on you. But we have people who, somebody called it a hand to mouth society. I don't know if I really like that term, but you go out, you hustle for the day, you get your earnings, you go to the market, buy your food for your family, you come home, you rinse and repeat. You see what I'm saying? So if we locked y'all down, how are you going to provide for your family? You see what I'm saying? So there were people still doing their everyday daily activities, selling things on the street, having their stores open, all of this. They were still doing that. A lot of especially government buildings required that you had a mask on. Most buildings at that time, at the height of it. But the mood and the energy of the people, yeah, people were talking about it. You'd be on the dollar, and I rode the dollar a lot, which is the bus. You rode the bus, and you would hear conversations about it. If somebody sneezed, they might kind of give you a side eye, but then laugh it off. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like how people were popping off and they say, like, cover your mouth. Like, you know what I'm saying? They weren't in that anxious state about it out here. People were still living.
Do you see a lot of people with masks on there?
No, I can't remember I went to the hospital the other day, and the nurse had a mask on behind the thing, but that's expected. You're in a hospital, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's walking around with masks.
Yeah. They were doing that before COVID.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So it's no weird like fear energy here about that. Yeah.
So I got another question. It's kind of a monkey wrench. I didn't have this, but it led me because, like I said, you was there during Magufuli time for a nice little minute, and then you were there at the beginning of the next president's time coming in, and we came in pretty much a few months after she started. So we didn't really get to experience the environment that Magufuli had created. We got, a little bit of it, but we came in the transition of it. So with you being there, have you seen a major shift in the environment and culture since Magufuli has passed?
Well, I wouldn't say major, but on one hand, I would. Okay. So what I mean by that is, like, okay, say for instance, all right, President Samia Suluhu Hassan, she had ordered, like, one of her first things that she did is order that, all the kibandas, which are the fruit stands and like where they sell t-shirts and stuff that you would see on the side of like the main roads and stuff, ordered that they either be pushed back or taken down. Now, I know this affects so many people's lives drastically, because if you're being pushed back, then you're on someone's private property and you're blocking the view of their store, the access to their store. And most people wouldn't allow it, frankly. You know what I'm saying? So it led to thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people across Tanzania, not only here in Dar es Salaam, not only in Arusha, but like thousands of people across the whole nation to lose their business. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Because, like that's what they feed their family with. That's what they pay for school fees with, the thing right on the side of the road when you're walking down the road and you see whatever you want to buy it. So I know I heard a lot of complaints from Tanzanian people who, were against that.
Right.
And, it's other things like the raising of the M-Pesa, or not only M-Pesa, but the mobile money transfer fees and taxes. And it's this whole new tax on it that's kind of huge and outrageous, so mobile banking and mobile money, the movement of mobile money and stuff like that, which almost everyone uses here. I don't know anyone who doesn't have a mobile money account,
Right.
where you can send money from phone to phone.
Right.
So, it's been things like that. And I don't really have too much to say because, frankly, I'm not Tanzanian, but I do observe. You see what I'm saying? I am observant, and the consensus with the people, some people are for what she's doing, some people are against it, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
I understand. Trust me. So my
Right.
next question is this: what do you think the biggest problem with diaspora when it comes to adopting to live in Africa, or specifically for you, Tanzania?
Unrealistic expectations of the environment and of themselves. I feel like sometimes people come out thinking, and really in their heart wanting to live a different lifestyle than what they're used to in their home country, like genuinely like wanting to do that. But a lot of times people haven't left their home country or traveled to the continent before, and they get a culture shock. And things like just basic things they can't adapt to sometimes, or it's more difficult, because I'm not going to say you can't adapt, because you can always adapt, but it's
Right.
a lot more difficult. And some people just don't want to release uh, certain things, certain comforts, you know what I'm saying, from what they're used to, and they expect the same service, same treatment, same amenities, same things out here, when it's just not possible. It's
Right.
just not possible. And I feel like it's just like I said before, it's just the mindset sometimes of thinking that you're right, and thinking that they're doing things wrong, and feeling like you have to teach everybody everything. Why don't you be the student for a little bit? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and really, I find that there's a lot of romanticization, and it's really
Yeah.
painful when the rose-colored lenses come off. You know what I'm saying? Because on one hand, yes, we are all brothers and sisters of the diaspora of Mother Africa, right? But when you come out, right? When you come out, if you speak English or you speak a non-African language, or even sometimes when you do speak another African language, they're going to look at you and they might jack the prices up, because they know you're a foreigner, and they equate being a foreigner with having money. You see what I'm saying? So it seems like you will get taken advantage of. Okay, like,
Mhm.
just be prepared, especially if you don't know the language. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, these are teachable situations that don't have to go left. And you don't
Right.
have to amp out on people be like, hey, bro, come on now. This is not the right price. Don't give me Mzungu prices now. I'm your brother. I'm
Right.
your sister. Like, what I'm saying? You can teach them in a way, you know what I'm saying? But, you really have to come out with the humbleness. And that's where I see people kind of fail sometimes.
And that's good, because that was one of my things when we got there. Is like, when I first got there, I wasn't sitting in a room all day. I wasn't sitting there, being to myself. I put myself in the environment and forced myself to learn. Like, I asked my wife, I would leave her like, look, I'm about to go to the village. I'm about to
Right.
go figure it out, and I'll let you know what I learned. So I would go, and what really got me was, we were staying in Wayne time at this Airbnb, and I would start to walk and survey the land, and we're going to get some fruit. and I think the lady has told me the oranges was like she said like 600 for one orange. Six what is it?
6,000
Sita,
shilling? Sita.
no, 600. Sita,
Okay.
Sita,
Yeah,
Sita.
Sita.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And at first I'm like, okay, cool. But then when I started to get to, like, within 4 days, when I started to get to learn, I'm like, hold on, this is me a Moja. This is only 100. I'm like, all right. So I went back to her and I asked her the price again. She said, I said, no. I spoke this way. I said, because when I got back, I asked my wife, I got back, I started to learn them numbers. And I learned the numbers in 1 day, like 1 or 2 days.
Good.
Went back and I told her in Swahili, this how much it costs. Her face was like, oh, snap. He knows the language.
Right.
So they respect that. Like, they really do respect that.
Yep.
And what I realized is you trying to adapt to their culture, it gains you more trust with them and they become a friend. So then they start giving you the friend prices, especially if you're consistent with coming to them. Even let's say they may not even drop to the friendly prices. Because you establish that, they'll probably actually give you more than what you paid for.
Right. You know, they'll always give you a little handful more, throw a little more in. Always. Yeah.
So it's really about, I think you said this in the beginning, really about building relationships. And that's one thing I don't see either is a lot of us don't come over there as a child willing to learn and getting to know people. Like we come, and this is what I had to humble myself to as well, is we come with this PTSD syndrome over there. Whereas and we don't even realize that they don't really know much about it. So we're trying to put that disease on them, but they don't really know much about it, and we get offended if they don't know, not realizing that they were colonized to a certain degree, slightly different than us, to not remember, not remember anything. So, when you say, oh, we went through slavery, and not to say it's not important, and you can use that as a moment of educating them. But when you try to guilt trip them with that, then that's when it becomes a problem. They sitting there like, I don't know nothing about that. And then you get more upset, not realizing yourself like, man, hold on. Let me take the moment to, what happened here?
Thank you. Yeah.
What happened here? And that's what happened. I was talking to a brother one time, and it wasn't necessarily him, me and him having an issue, but he was on a missionary with some Muzungu. And they came over and I was talking to the brother, and it was just a conversation. And then I got into talking about slavery and how he looked at me. He looked at me like with this dumbfounded face, like I'm like, it hit me. Hold on. Do you even know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about? He said, no, brother, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, wow. And it really hit me like, hold on, I gotta go with a whole nother approach on this. I said, because I'm talking foreign language to them. They don't even know what I'm talking about. So let me actually be quiet. Let me be quiet and you teach me. Let me know what you know. Because maybe then if I be quiet and I know what you know, I'll know what to share with you.
Right. Thank you. Exactly.
Yeah, man. That I'm glad you said that, because that's what I see. That's probably one of the main reasons people go home. They don't feel at home, and that's because they've not allowed the people to help them create a home.
Right.
Like you said, one of the things you did you said, "Oh, I can't be in this hotel no more. Let me call somebody who knows what to do." And you call one friend.
Right. And
go ahead.
Yeah, and you have to, if you're coming out here, no matter where you come, whether it's Tanzania, whether it's Rwanda, Ghana, Kenya, whatever, you have to be willing to break out of that shell, and you have to know that you're going to have to enlist the help of a local within that country or someone who is native to that country if you want to have a good transition, a smooth transition. Because what I see a lot of times is people with their reasoning about wanting to come out here, or some of their objectives while they are on the continent is, I want to build with my brothers and sisters. I want to live amongst them, and I want to do that, which is great. Which, what I'm saying, ultimately, I feel like that should be all of our goal. What I'm saying? Everyone's goal. Like, what I'm saying? Why are you going to move to another country? But once they get here, it's a different story. You say you want to live amongst the people. You want to learn the custom, the culture. But when it comes to enlist the help of someone, what I'm saying? You're not putting your money where your mouth is. What I'm saying? You're given the opportunity to build with someone, to work with someone, to do all these things, but you're moving with that energy of fear. You see what I'm saying? Even when it comes to like starting a business, which is a thing that a lot of diasporans are doing out here, a lot of them. And guess what? A lot of people are successful. I know a lot of people, and that's coming on my channel as well. I'm going to be interviewing, and I've already interviewed a couple people. I'm piecing it together right now, but I'm interviewing Diana. Oh, I'm back.
You kind of breaking up right now. Let's see.
Okay.
I can hear you. Okay, I think we good.
It might be my. Okay, back on. But okay. Yeah, so you can hear me? You can see me?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So yeah, like I was saying, with the business aspect of things, it's a lot easier to register a business and get things started if you cooperate and do things jointly with a native here. What I'm saying? Paperwork moves a lot faster, just things flow a lot easier. But there's a lot of people as well who are reluctant to team up with native because they're like, I don't know if I can trust them, which, hey, I understand you have to use discernment and wisdom, especially when it comes to business and things like that. But when you're presented with an opportunity to be able to put your money where your mouth is and you don't, or to put your energy where your mouth is and you don't, what I'm saying? That's, to me, that's you're telling the universe that I don't appreciate what you sent my way. You see what I'm saying? So like you really have to be ready to put that energy where your mouth is and what you're saying you're going to do. If you say that you really want to come out and work with local people and work with people on a level of building up not only your finances or your empire and, pouring into the community, then you need to be able to really back that up and just let go of the fear. I know it can be scary. I know it can be intimidating sometimes, but you know what I'm saying? You came here for a purpose and only you know your purpose, but you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta break out of that shell. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, you gotta break out of that shell.
That leads me to my last question for you. Because you say you have to be ready for what comes for you. So my question to you is this: with everything that happened in divine timing, and I don't believe nobody's over there for no reason. I just believe people mess up the reason why they're over there. So my question to you is this: this is my last question. What would be some advice you would give someone who is interested in visiting or moving to Africa, especially Tanzania? What would be your advice for you? Because I think you're a little over a decade, or not a decade, but half a decade now being there. So
yeah, December will be 6 years for me. Okay, so December will be 6 years for me. But my main advice is, for one, have a plan when it comes to immigration, okay? And when it comes to what type of visa you're going to get. Have a plan, all right? And also, you really need to have a plan as far as your game plan, okay? Hold on, mommy. As far as I love you too. Okay, thank you, baby. Hold on, mommy's almost finished, okay? Mommy's coming, now, Kuja. All right. You need to have a game plan. You need to, I'm not saying you need to know everything that you're gonna do when you come out here, but just have a general idea, because that will help you point your energy in the right direction, and that'll help you get the ball rolling on certain things that you need to do. Don't I can't tell you don't move with the energy of fear, but try not to move with the energy of fear, because sometimes, fear or hesitation is just a natural reaction to the things that we don't know. You see what I'm saying? So these are natural responses, but don't let that dictate your move, and don't let it completely engulf you to where that you're thinking outside of your right mind and you're thinking through your fearful mind, because people sense that and you will get taken advantage of no matter where you are in the world. Even in the States, you can't go to a different neighborhood moving scary and sneaky. Somebody's going to take advantage of you. You see what I'm saying? So know that, and how you can combat this is making sure that you're making this move for you and your family. You know what I'm saying? If you're moving solo, then make sure that you consulted with yourself. Hold on, mommy. That you consulted with yourself and made sure that it was the right decision for you. Wait. Tulia, mama. I know. Nakuja, okay? Okay, Safi, I'm coming. Make sure that the decision sits right within you. Not saying that if you come out here, it has to be a permanent move or anything. Go explore. There's so many places around Tanzania, so many places in Africa, right? But make sure that the decision sits right with you. I know a lot of times, people on YouTube, people on social media, they can glamorize things. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things, like with my channel, I don't sit up and glamorize. Can you hear me?
You breaking up. Your screen froze. Let me see if we take this down. Cat, you broke up. I can't hear you right now. Your screen froze.
Me? I cut out again.
Let's see. Oh, I think we got you. Okay, we good.
So you can hear me?
Yep.
You hear me? Okay. It's okay, baby. Okay, this should be better.
Yep. We good now.
All right, can you see me and hear me?
Yep, you good.
Okay.
I can hear you.
This is another thing you have to have patience with sometimes, because the internet can be very sketchy out here. So
hey, it's been good the whole time. So maybe this is divinely anointed that we on here. So it's been good for majority of the time to the end. Let me see. While we waiting on her family, please make sure y'all click like and subscribe to the channel. Please click like and subscribe to the channel. If you can also comment what you've been learning so far. What have you learned so far being in this conversation? What have you learned so far? Let's see. Remove that.
Yeah.
And we're back.
All right.
We're
back.
So
okay.
Make sure y'all click like and subscribe to the channel. This is Traveling Sister, my beloved sister, who I was blessed to build with. While we got her back now, we're gonna get back to the conversation, wrap it up. I know we both extremely busy helping heal and rebuild the world, especially the African scattered abroad. You know, and this is the beautiful thing, y'all. Me and her both we're still in our youth. You know what I'm saying? We're in our 30s. We have a lot more to give, you know, and we are truly picking up where our ancestors left off.
Right.
And I'm talking ancestors who stood bold, who built Black Wall Street, who stood against the enemy, who organized and told the truth. You know, the Nat Turners of this time, you know, the Zulu warriors of this time, you know, we got the Zimbabwe warriors of this time, the Bantus are now remigrating back, you know, to Africa, you know, and so this is what this is about. So with that being said, I want to continue with the last question about the advice that you would give to the Bantus, those scattered abroad, the so-called African Americans, the so-called European Africans, those scattered abroad. What would be the advice you would give when it comes to preparing your mind, soul, and body to either visit or move to Africa?
Okay, so like I was saying before I got cut off, you got to make sure this journey is for you, and that you're not looking at it through a romanticized view in your mind of, you know, what it could be or what it should be. There is no what it should be, because each individual journey is different. You know what I'm saying? And my other biggest piece of advice, you guys, is like, to do the healing, to do some healing, some level of healing, some level of connection, you know what I'm saying, before you get here to Tanzania or before you get here to the continent, period. Because like I kind of touched on a little earlier, yes, the continent is a magical place. It is a place that, you know, we all come from as African descendants, and it is a land of our ancestors, you know what I'm saying? But there's no magic, you know what I'm saying? There's no magic that's going to just automatically happen once you step foot off the plane. Like I said, the ancestors are not going to just swoop down and encircle you and greet you in grass skirts and, you know, congas and Congos. And, you know what I'm saying? It more than likely will not be like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, healing and mental clarity is not just going to be automatically bestowed upon you, you know, now that you step foot on the continent and you're here. Like, you have to do the self-work to address certain things within yourself. Prepare yourself. You know what I'm saying? You want to give the continent and the people your best. Show up as your best self. You know what I'm saying? And okay. And you have to, you don't want to just come always as a downtrodden people with just broken and nothing to offer. Yes, that has been our narrative, but let's subscribe to a whole nother narrative. Go ahead, give those to Dada right there.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let's switch that narrative. Let's switch that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been long enough that we've come with that. You know what I'm saying? It's time to uplift ourselves. It's time to uplift one another. And how are we gonna show up as our best selves? You know what I'm saying? If we don't even see that we need to do work, you know what I'm saying? So, and whether that's work in any form, whether you feel like you need therapy before you come, whether you feel like you just need to convene with the ancestors, whether you feel like you need to do some meditation, some, you know, connect with other like-minded Pan-African or, you know, individuals in your community who are doing things, you know what I'm saying? And just have a space to talk to people, whether you feel like you need to do a consultation with somebody who is living in Africa, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, but try to shed some of those ways and some of the mindsets and just get rid of some of those things and firstly address some of the things that are broken within you, so that you're not coming over here dumping yourself emotionally. It's not a trash can. Like I always say, like, don't emotionally dump on me because I'm not a trash can. You know what I'm saying? Just the same here. You can't just come and just bring all your crap and your emotional baggage and expect to just be healed because it's Africa. That's inconsiderate. You see what I'm saying? So you really have to do the self-work before you come here. Initiate it before you come here. the other feeling can follow, but it starts within knowing that you need to do it first.
And that's powerful, because one thing I've noticed, kind of sat me back for a little bit, is you said something that you get with people like-minded. One thing I noticed, like in America, right, a lot of people with different beliefs have a hard time coming together, and working together. But I see that is not a major problem in Tanzania. And I really believe that the environment plays a major role in that, because like you said, we come sometimes as people trying to trot down the land, because we come from a trodden down land of people who trodden us down. And so we're so used to fighting back and scrapping and arguing and shooting that we think that that's everywhere in the world, where these people, not to say that they're perfect, but they like, why are you like that?
Why are you so aggressive? Yeah.
Why are you so loud? Why are you so aggressive? And I don't think that we take the time to realize that our environment shaped us this way. Even how we view spirituality and religion, and understanding that in all settings of religion, the whole thing was to bring people together. We're trying that, but because again, everything's a fight, everything is mine. I gotta win. That we can't put that aside and see that we do have a lot of more common ground than differences. So that was some super great advice. What I would do like to do before getting you off is I want to actually share your YouTube so everybody can subscribe to you.
Right on. Thank you.
Let me see. Let me share my screen. So y'all make sure that y'all subscribe to her channel as well. This is her channel, Traveling Sista. Obviously, you see she's booming right now. Y'all better make sure y'all get our channel like that too. We done brought a legend on here, so y'all better get our channel like that.
Right on. Gratitude.
So this is Traveling Sista. As you see, she has videos dealing with medicinal plants, a relationship. She has a lot of different videos on here. And some great content. She even has the brother. I believe this brother right here is in Ghana, right?
Maya,
She was able to interview the person dealing with this one was dealing with the water.
A total genius. Makes his own water filtration system, makes his own biogas, like just brilliant brother right here.
Good. And you have the other brother right here who's been there for some time. I believe he's from Jamaica. She has a lot of videos, family. She has a lot of videos to share that has some valuable information. So y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to her channel as well. Again, for this channel, make sure you click like and subscribe so that we can get this information out. Also, if you would like to donate to Traveling Sista, you have a Cash App if people want to donate to you.
Okay, I do. It's $ Traveling Sista, TravelingSista. I really appreciate donations and any love token, any love gift that helps the channel keep going, that helps me to get out in these streets, do the interviews with people, move around, replace equipment and everything, and for everyone who's ever donated or just sent positive energy and love, like gratitude, for real. It's all been received very well and put to great use, you guys. And again, thank you, brother, for having me on this channel. It has been a long time coming, very long time coming. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this. Zora has something to say too. Say hi.
Hi, Uncle.
Hey, how you doing,
Subscribing to the channel. That's right, mommy.
That's right. Subscribe to the channel. That's right.
Gratitude, and this has been wonderful, and I hope we can do this again, because this is really cool. And
also, if besides your YouTube, I don't know if you have an email set up where people can ask questions, but there's like another way of contacting you if people want to do consultations or want to get more information.
Absolutely. I had stopped consultations for a little while, but I'm actually starting the consultations back next week. But you can go on travelingsista.com and to the contact tab, and all of my information is there. You can send me a message directly on the website, and if you want a further information when it comes to the consultations, I do, as of right now, I do consultations on a case by case basis. But like I said, I will be starting them again next week, and the information will be all up there. So yeah, you guys go ahead and go on travelingsista.com, and you'll have all the information. And even there's a Q&A section just for general questions about Tanzania and relocating to Tanzania. There's just like nice little travel tips on things like what to pack, and all the information you need to know is right on the website, you guys.
Good.
Subscribe in the channel.
Yeah, make sure if y'all can donate to it. I personally have been able to see behind the scenes, especially when it comes to videography and photography and really getting the interview. She does really have the whole setup. I was amazed when I went over and seen it. I'm like, I felt like I was prime time at that moment. You know what I'm saying? She has a project. I'm not going to say it on here. I'm gonna let her release it. She has a project that she is currently working on. We don't know the exact time it will be coming out, but I'm telling y'all now, it's gonna be the hottest thing on the internet when it come out, because at this point, when it comes out, you're gonna really have to make a choice of what you not only believe in, but where you stand when it comes to your people. I know she's doing some fire interviews, so make sure y'all support her. Continue to support this channel too if you'd like to make donations. The cash app is $repat #2 Africa, repat to Africa. Continue to support as we got some good works as well going on both Tanzania and in America. So just continue to support us as we support y'all and get this information out to you. And let's continue to build, y'all. So with that being said, we love y'all in spirit and in truth. We wish nothing but peace, love, light, and prosperity to all these people. Traveling sister, I say thank you again. I say Asante Sana for taking the time out of your day to
anytime.
Yes, I wish nothing but blessings, peace, and prosperity upon you and your family. Please get Freddie my love. Love that
Likewise.
brother. And is there any last words you'd like to say to the people?
My last words really just follow spirit, yo, and really just do what you feel in your heart needs to be done, and don't get deterred when little things don't go right. These are tests. You see what I'm saying? These are tests. They're not all deterrents. They're tests, and it's only going to make you stronger, okay, you guys? So yeah, that's all I got.
Good. And as my brother Zad in West Africa say, he said, Africa for the Africans home and abroad. Make sure even if you don't move, come visit. You know, the Muslims, they have their pilgrimage they do several times a year. The Jewish people have their thing that they do several times a year. There should be no reason that Africans scattered abroad should not have some type of pilgrimage set up at least once a year, family.
Right. I'm telling you,
bring Africa home. You can't move to Africa. Bring Africa home. Create Africa in your environment. And you still can be African anywhere in the world, because remember, our ancestors, when they traveled, they brought Africa with them. They brought their drums. They brought their artifacts. They brought their literature, the scrolls. They brought their information with them so they can still create the environment of Africa. That's why when they came over here, they saw African statues, right? They came before they found them.
Yep.
So it's our job to do the same thing. You not rewrite history, but add on to the ancient history. Yes,
absolutely. Carry that with you, because it's within us. It's in our DNA. Like, So wait.
So with that being said, I appreciate you, sister. You have a blessed day.
Thank you. Likewise.
And you know, behind the scene, we're gonna continue to build and do business. So
absolutely. Always, 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 Kaka. Okay. All right. You have a good day. And thank you again. Much gratitude. Thank you for everyone who tapped in.
This channel.
Zora, she got, she's here for y'all too. So yes, thank you. Okay. And much love. All right.
Much
Much
love.
Peace. All right, y'all, fam. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Again, please click like and subscribe to the channel. This is how people get to understand what we're doing. This is how it gets in the algorithm. I don't know who this scammer is, but if y'all can, somebody need to block them. I don't know if y'all can delete the comment, but anyway, yeah, this is what this channel is about. This is about our people. No matter where you at in the world, our people scattered abroad, especially, and it is especially for our people on the continent, because they don't give us this type of news on TV. They don't give us this type of news on Prime Video. They don't give us this type of news on Netflix. They don't give us this type of news anywhere else. So we are the news channel. We are the ones who's going to give you all the right information, because they're not going to, just like they're putting out this fake information about Tanzania, and these diseases and all that stuff. We're going to give you the real thing about what's happening on ground. So it's imperative that y'all really do share this information, and that y'all continue to support and tune in, because this is how we're able to elevate and give y'all more. So, helping one another is key. Tuko Pamoja, I mean, we are together. So it takes us as a collective together to rise up from the ashes. We're not in the time anymore where we're depending on one leader, 2 leaders, 3 leaders. This is going to take us as a collective to look like one leader. And that does take support. We've done it before in the past, and we can do it again, family. So make sure y'all click like, subscribe, share, donate, whatever isn't on your spirit to do, so that we can continue to elevate other people. We love y'all for tuning in. We love y'all for supporting, and may we continue to be a vessel for y'all to shine light on what's really going on with our people scattered abroad. So with that, I say peace, love, light, and prosperity to you all. I love you all. Shalom, shalom, salama, all that good stuff. Ashe, and y'all have a great day. Peace.